What is sinful about man's fallen condition? The sinfulness of man's fallen the sinfulness of man's fallen condition is twofold. First, in what is commonly called original sin, there is the guilt of Adam's first sin with its lack of original righteousness and the corruption of the whole nature. Second are all the specific acts of disobedience that come from original sin. So the definition of original sin is guilt, lack of righteousness, and corruption. Three things. First is the guilt, the guilt of Adam's first sin, because of the guilt. So when Adam sinned, he carries that guilt. He was guilty before God, and that is a fallen condition. That's one. Number two is the lack of original righteousness. Lack of the original righteousness. The original righteousness of Adam, he lost it. By sinning against God, he not only carries the guilt now, but he also lost the original righteousness which God bestowed upon him to walk on the surface of the earth, be the master of the earth, and over all the creatures and everything. But he lost it. So and the lack of original righteousness is interesting. It's called righteousness because you see how important it is to be righteous before God. Adam lost the original righteousness. The word original is important because we're not talking about any righteousness by any human standard or any historical church standard. We're talking about the righteousness, the original righteousness that Adam had with God that was perfect in reality, or in other words, that is a perfect righteousness. And the third part of the original sin is the corruption of the whole nature. So after guilt comes the losing of the original righteousness, and third thing is the corruption of the whole nature. Now that goes worse. Now from that original sin, the whole body, the whole person, the whole nature of Adam was corrupted. You see, that's the sinfulness of the man's fallen condition. So that corruption carries on till today. And that's why we carry that corruption in our being. What is corruption? Corruption, it doesn't mean just bribery, or so to speak. The corruption is moral corruption, which is inbred inside us, which is part of our DNA, which is our fallen nature. That's why we are prone to sin. That's why we are prone to temptations, And this is what is called corruption of a moral value judgment, our moral desire. That's a big thing. Our desire is no more towards God. Our desire is being tainted. It's so tainted. That's why we struggle so much in this world, and people commit crimes and all this because the desire are tainted. The desire is corrupted, And after that, the fallen condition is just all the specific acts of disobedience that come from original sin. So you see how much the impact of original sin upon us. The original sin breeds that fertile ground of the corruption of our whole nature, our whole human being, personality, nature, and moral values. So that's why people, swear, people. All these evil things happen in the world because we're so corrupted. That's why we need renewal. That's why we need God to renew us, so that more and more we are able to be dead to sin and alive to righteousness.